Next up, we have Team Inertia. Get on up here, guys.
Hello, everyone. We're Inertia. We're a community-led prediction market interface, and we're not the first people to come up with prediction markets. But the solutions out there today make you trade politics and news. And we know that people are interested in predicting way more things than just those topics alone. And so what our platform does is it asks people, what do you want to predict? And it lets them do it. My name is Mark. I've led research at Tron and the Avalanche Foundation during my time at blockchain at UCI.
I'm Anish. In high school, I founded an esports startup, which got acquired, and this gave me the lifelong bug for building cool things. And this eventually led me down this rabbit hole with blockchain, where actually I met Mark at a panel I led for blockchain at UCI, and we just hit it right off. And Kainoa, our other co-founder, he founded and grew out a decentralized social media platform, Firefish, with over 30,000 users last year.
So over the summer, we came across prediction markets and found that Web 2 prediction markets had 4 times the volume traffic than Web 3. And we came across 3 main insights: that user experience, regulations, and social engagement matter.
Okay, so Web3 products are really, really hard for non-crypto natives to use. It's like trying to climb Mount Everest without a Sherpa. You're lost, and users typically go through way too many hoops and complex onboarding processes, churning before they even place their first trade.
So why Web3 at all? Well, if you see the government as this huge octopus with tentacles all around, it's constricting these platforms from actually offering any basic markets. After speaking to users, a lot of these kinds of issues arose. And what we found, actually in our first week of Codebase, we went to Lisbon. And we spoke to this man who was a trader by occupation. He wanted to trade prediction markets in the US, but couldn't because he was a Portuguese citizen and not a US one. And this is emblematic of what is the issue with prediction markets in Web 2, which is all of these fragmented laws in every country stop them from operating everywhere, whereas Web 3 solves this.
So,
So, what Web 2 and Web 3 miss is that social prediction markets are inherently social. If we use Trump as a case study here, he's serving as a content distribution channel that creates this huge spike up, but it all turns to zero. And the reason this is because administrators are the only people making these markets. And so what ends up happening is that they are trying to force users to trade these markets that they just don't care about.
Now, our take is that market creators do our best user acquisition for us. They create interesting markets that, 2, get pushed out onto our platform, and they share these across their socials, which means 3, more volume traded on these markets, which results in 4, more commission fees for both the creator and us as the platform itself, enabling this sort of flywheel effect where content creators kind of do the heavy lifting for us beyond our own efforts.
And the interesting thing about communities and the people in them are that they are interested in more than just one thing. And so what ends up happening is they become part of this dynamic where they choose what and when something is interesting. And so the thing that we have noticed in these markets is that the more attention that they get, the more liquidity comes to actually participate in these markets.
So we're doing this by abstracting away all of the on-chain complexities. Here we can see a friend who was browsing Twitter and they see something interesting. Microsoft is potentially planning to buy Valve for $16 billion. They send us their group chat, and all of a sudden, all of their friends start bantering about what they think is actually going to happen. And then another friend quickly spins up a market on Inertia and pops a link into the group chat. Now, when a user clicks on our link, they're taken through a very easy onboarding process. They simply SSO in with Google, Discord, Twitter, whatever. We do all the dirty work from the background, and they get an embedded wallet. But now, to even trade on the market, obviously they need cryptocurrency. So we made this process simple as well. They can just put down a credit card or Apple Pay and immediately on-ramp, and they won't even know it's Web3. Now, going back to our friend here who actually created the market, we have a no-code modal, which they can just literally input into text boxes, and we'll create a smart contract for them in the back end, and they can share this market publicly, earn revenue, or privately with their friends, all without touching a single line of code. Now, the way we're actually settling these markets is through 2 distinct methods. The first is an autonomous API resolution. Now, this can look at something as obscure as, if my friend's flight to Austin is going to be delayed or not.
Then,
yeah. And if an API has any quantifiable data, we can autonomously settle the market. Now, for more ambiguous markets, Market participants have 24 hours to dispute the market, attach evidence, and then we have an algorithm that selects a committee of jurors, which then will have a 40-hour voting period to review the evidence attached to each dispute and select which has the most compelling and legitimate evidence, and the market then gets settled.
So what do we do from here? Well, we finished everything in a very short period of time in the back end, and now we're finishing and wrapping everything up in this beautiful user interface that people actually want to engage with. Next steps are bringing aboard early users, such as Reddit moderators who had success in increasing community engagement with this prediction product that Reddit has since sunsetted. So there are millions of people ready for an alternative, ready to be plugged in. And lastly, we have over 900 people ready to test and use our product.
We're Inertia. We unlock the predictions you think about with your friends, so you can put your money where your mouth is. Thank you.
I must say, like, super compelling, but I'm like, huh? Because I'm not part of this community. How would you onboard those? Or is that even the market? I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, who are your target audience for this product?
Okay. So what we've noticed, what we've seen in our deep research is like, if you look at Reddit, right, they had this prediction like product and a bunch of communities use them. F1, League of Legends, like Birds Aren't Real. There are a bunch of these niche communities that actually have millions of people who look at them, and they were using this prediction product. And so who are we bringing aboard? It's going to be those early communities, those people who are already built out on these, such as say Reddit, and we're bringing them on board. We're letting them actually use real money, actually earn money from it, and yeah, it's a place to build community.
To add a little bit on that as well, as we scale, we're actually looking to create new markets. If we look at social cultures, streamers, all this sort of media, we can see people, bantering about what they think is going to happen. For example, my girlfriend was actually going through Instagram, and she was literally seeing people bantering in the comments about, okay, will this person get left at the altar for Love Is Blind? Or people will actually argue on Twitter about Dancing with the Stars and stuff. And I mean, Dancing with the Stars even has its own poll system. So we think that there's markets for prediction markets actually, and all these niche communities to kind of come together, which is why we kind of adopted the more user-generated approach. And yeah, that's how we're planning to actually scale a little bit beyond the initial community.
Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the job.
Thank you.
Okay.